let the room fill up. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content. Let's roll with it. Let's go. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We're going to talk about D-Law wreaking havoc out there. Yeah, we're going to get this thing going one way or another. Appreciate everybody for tuning in to the mix. It's always a pleasure, always a plus for you guys being in this thing. Let's get this thing rolling, man. I really thank everybody for tuning in to the nation. Salute. Yeah, so as everybody tune in, man, I really appreciate everything. We're going to talk about my guy. He got part of my name in him, you know, D-Law, Outlaw Nation all day, even twice on Sunday. So this is the thing. As we begin to talk about this seasoning, and as everything goes a little bit further on down the line, I always say defense. I'm a defensive minded guy. You got to figure out a way to be defensive strong and things like that. And everybody know I love defense. And D-Law, did you guys know a little fun fact? For the last 20 games, D-Law had a sack a game. So that's 20 sacks that he had in the last 20 games. That's fantastic. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I don't know how you can put this all into one, but if you can wrap this thing and roll it all together, that is so fantastic for D-Law to step it up. Now the price, every week, that price tag is going up. Every week. And we was looking for a war daddy at one point, and the whole time one was developing under us, and he wears number 90. Hey, although he said Taco coined the phrase hot boys, D-Law done embraced the hot boys look, and he's pumping up everything, and he's telling everyone, hey, this team is for real, and his personality is coming out. He's all over the place interviewing and doing these type of things. D-Law is the man right now, and one way or another, Jerry Jones got to reach into his pocket, because the last thing that we want to happen to us is to see what John Gruden did to the Raiders. You know, we don't want that to happen in our camp. So we don't want to trade him away and things like that, because we've been fighting for so long. It's been so long we've been fighting for a quote-unquote war daddy. Before I go a little bit further, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that share button, smash the notification. If you're part of the notification squad, don't forget to put that down in the comment box. And also, I love always to hear and see where you guys are from. So if you can, put that down in the chat box and we can get this thing going live like 95. Yes, let's roll. Let's roll. So what I want to do is I want to play you guys a clip of Stephen Jones speaking with 105.3 The Fan. You see that little ticker at the top of the screen there. Don't forget to, if you're in the Dallas area, if you're not in the Dallas area and you have access to radio apps, you can still download radio.com and you can listen to 105.3 The Fan. They got a wealth of knowledge of information out there. And hey, it's always good to be part and be in the mix with these guys. So let's listen in to what they have to say about, you know, this team and what they talk to Stephen Jones about. And don't forget the sponsors too. Cowboys Experience, www.Cowboys Experience. It should be in the description box. Go there. We got fantastic pricing as far as ticket sales and things like that. If you have a family need to come out and want to enjoy the whole entire experience, just join that link.
As we're joined now by Stephen Jones right here on 105.3 The Fan. And a good afternoon to you, Stephen. Congratulations on the victory.
Sure, it was appreciate that, and it was certainly a win we needed in a big way, and it was a great atmosphere. Hats off to our fans. They really made for a great environment when we needed it, and it was obviously something that was good for our team.
So that was easily the best offensive output of the year for you guys. Would you say it was more credit to anything being changed, or just that that's how it looks when the team kind of stays on schedule and not behind the chains?
Well, I know the word everybody's been using is execute, and I think we did do a lot better job of executing. But they threw some wrinkles in there that I think were helpful with the, getting the tempo up and, running some no huddle and some things like that. I think, really helped Dak get in a rhythm. And I think, when you look at it, I think that's been one of the issues with our offense is we hadn't, had a lot of rhythm to it. And I think once we get that going, then we seem to execute better and you get better results. Obviously, anytime you can get Zeke the number of touches we got him, that's a good thing. And certainly he had a great day yesterday. It wouldn't surprise me a bit if he's player of the week, but I thought he had a great game.
No doubt, he had a great game, and it wouldn't surprise me as well if he's the player of the week. He should be player of the month almost with that particular performance. Outside of the quarterbacks played good on other teams like the Golf of the Worlds and the Mahomes. So we'll see how this thing all unfold. But this is the thing. I'm going to keep it over here to D-Law. I thought they was going to talk about D-Law, but this is the thing with D-Law. 20 games, 20 sacks. 20 more games, maybe it'd be 20 more sacks. So the name of the game is creating pressure. If you can create pressure and put that pressure onto the quarterback and have the quarterback to pass the ball out faster, go through his progression quicker, and not able to set his feet and get his stance together, then you can create these turnovers. Now, we have yet to see an INT on our side. And I'm thinking it's coming around the corner because now we have another guy that's going to be part of the Hot Boys coming back. His name is David Irvin. And what that does is now it creates one-on-one. If David Irvin is going to eat, and if he's in shape, hopefully I don't have to call him Belly Irvin, but hopefully David Irvin is in good tip-top shape, and he gets out there, flies out to the ball, and do everything that he needs to do in order to create that pressure, turnover, sacks, and if they can play one-on-one on the outside, that would be fantastic. That would be wonderful. That would be everything that we would need. Shout out to Jay. Thank you for tuning in on the Periscope, and also Eric K. and Boomer Sooner. Thank you all for tuning in as well. I always like to give a first person that's in the chat box a shout out abnormally. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation's YouTube page. I really appreciate everything. Don't forget, guys, we on the Dallas Prospect. Every legend was once a prospect. Big Game James page. Go check him out, as well as Phantom, and we also on the Cowboys Experience. Now, like I said before, we do have a lot of things going on in the following weeks, but I really want you guys to tune in to this right here. If this defense can step it up on the secondary part, then we would see this defense move it up the level just a little bit further. And when I'm talking about stepping it up, I'm talking about lane assignments and spacing assignments. If they can do those things, then we will see that this defense will be talked upon. It's not just the top 8 or top 5 defense. They would say, hey, this defense is in the realms of number 1 and number 2. But we got to clear up the back end of the team. And I think what can help that out tremendously will be adding D-Law. And, of course, we have yet to see that spark, that one spark or several sparks from number 94 outside of personal foul and late hits on players. So we're going to have him to step it up, guys. He must step it up, and then you sprinkle in the David Irvin because he needs to have that rotation piece in there. And any news, any words, let me know about Malik Collins, how long he will be out. And also, I want to know, want you guys to help me out. Who should the Cowboys cut to elevate David Irvin? Let me know. I'm gonna read your comments, and I'm really gonna tune in and see who all really are paying attention to this thing. So I really need your help on that. So who we should cut? I know the famous name of everybody saying is T. Will right now because it's off the field shenanigans and also his field of play and whatever, all the things that he's been doing, because we saw less is more as far as the wide receiver play. I kind of like the wide receiver core from this last game, not rotating 5 and 6 and 8 and 7, 9 and 10 receivers in and out of the game. I like the fact that you can develop that core and you can know for sure that, hey, we got number 17 in the mix, we got number 13 in the mix, and we have Cole Beasley who's dominated in the inside. And maybe you just use number 15, Deontay Thompson, just and only for special teams, because I kind of like that mix. Let me know, guys. Let me know whether or not you guys like the lineup for the wide receivers from last game. And I do know that we have Bryce Butler. So if we're going to move anybody, I don't know, out of that mix. Maybe it's Alan Hearns. I don't know. Shout out to everybody, man. Thank you for tuning in. How about Earl Thomas? Whoa. Hey, this is from my guy, Italian Cowboys. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. A lot of people saying cut Jarwin because we do have a lot of tight ends at this point. And I don't think that they're going to go that route. The tight end play last game was okay. I do know that they didn't make a lot of impact as far as catching the ball, but they blocked well down the field. I like the fact that Rico is getting some reps out there, although Dak Prescott missed the ball too fast for him. I think that it still takes time. I wish that they played together in preseason. I wish they had more snaps together because that one-on-one play, that's all about poise and continuity and things like that. So it takes time for that to develop. Somebody just trolling now when they say cut Heath. Come on now, you can't cut Heath. That's the GOAT. That's the legend, especially when it's the last 2 minutes of the game. Jeff Heath can't be that guy. So we saw how valuable Jeff Heath is. When he was out, it shows 2 weeks in a row. When he's out, the other teams, the opposition score. So we're going to have to fix that up, and we're going to have to patch that up, and especially we're going to have to figure out a way to keep him healthy. But moving back to number 90, there's 2 ways we can go about this. Next year we can slap the franchise tag on him again. He'll be pouting and be mad about it, or I don't know. His temperament may be the fact that hey, I'm getting his money. We're gonna load the Brinks truck next year. So. I don't know his temperament in that aspect, but he is the law, So he may want the money this time. And I think, let me know, give me a thumbs up. Let me know whether or not you guys want Jerry Jones to go ahead and pay him, because there's nothing to hold him back now. We should have enough money to pay him, and we should be able to do those things. Frisco speaks. He says Blake Jarwin is average at best. Come on, man. Although it's his second year, he's a rookie out there, because this is the first time really playing with these amount of snaps. So it is what it is. I got over here on my Twitch. Someone needs to show Dak how to throw the lob pass. This is from JV Bad Boy 74. Lob pass, that's something that Dak really needs to work on as far as touch. I saw this game as I look back that tape, and I'm ready for the All-22 to come out around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. I want him to just have a little touch on the ball. Now, I did see him step up through his throws. I do like the aspect of running out of the pistol formation and utilizing those play action fakes and those play action passes, because what that does is that sink in. Although the safeties and the linebackers are up close, tight on the line, but what this does collectively, now that you're doing the play action, everybody's all out to actually to stop the run, and of course the Detroit Lions, they hit a bad time to try to stop the run against the Cowboys, because they ranked dead last in the NFL as far as against the run. So what we did here is we played to our strengths. We did what we needed to do in order to get there. Now, some small things that we're gonna have to patch up and fix around and get together, but down the line, this formality, this philosophy will work. Creating pressure with the defensive ends, and then you sprinkle in a D-Law, and then on top of that, if we can control the ball, control the field of play with Ezekiel Elliott, the core. Remember, all offseason I was talking about we must concentrate and we must fix up this core, whether it be on the offensive side of the ball or on the defensive side of the ball. So right now we're okay with that. But our only pieces that we are having problems with right now is the secondary. And I can say this, the slot corners. We saw what happened when Jordan Lewis got out there. We saw what happened when Anthony Brown was looking around. Where should I go with plays and things like that? So we need to fix those things up in order to bring this team up to the next level. And we're close, guys. We are really and extremely close. Let me see if I can play a little bit more of this interview. It's a wonderful interview with Stephen Jones. But let's see what they say down the line.
And so explosive in the passing game, going empty and then having him in the slot, that really looked like it could be a real powerful weapon for you guys. What do you think?
Well, they're going to have to pick and choose for sure. And if they're going to give him the mismatch, then we're going to have to take those mismatches. And, if they turn on the tape and look at it, they may try to take that away some. But we've still got a lot of room for improvement. We're a young football team, and I think I think we'll continue to improve as the season goes.
Yes.
Steven, speaking of youth, your first-round pick, Leighton Vander Esch, had an outstanding game, is really having a nice rookie season. And last year, as you're a guy who gets to kind of help pick the players on this team, when Sean Lee was out, the defense just couldn't seem to perform at any type of a high level. And you have to be really proud of the adjustment that you guys and the team has made when Sean Lee was out yesterday. Still had a solid defensive game.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week, how fortunate we are to have a guy like Leighton. Obviously a big resource we put into him with the first-round pick. But, having a guy like that can step in, because you're right, whenever Sean's been out in the past, our success is, we've struggled without him. And I think yesterday we showed we could go out and play good defense, with Leighton in there as the starter. And you start to take, a Sean and a Jalen and a Leighton, those three guys manning those very important for this defense, Mike and Will positions, are huge. And we've got a good linebacking core there. And certainly I think, it's all in front of Leighton. One of the things that really shows up is his length, that 6'5" frame he has, long arms. It's tough to get away from him. And when he gets his hands on you, you're probably going to be down pretty quickly. And
Right.
He's just been a great addition to the defense. And, it's a young defense out there. And I think, we gave up some plays yesterday. I still think, there's a lot of room for improvement. And I know Rod and Chris will harp on the fact that we didn't get, still not getting the turnovers. We think that's going to come. But, certainly, there's room for improvement. And I know, one of the things they will continue to stress in a big way is, is creating turnovers. And I do think that'll come.
It's Stephen Jones.
Yeah, so I want to chime in a little bit about Leighton, LVE, his size, his measurables. To get you guys in the mindset of what his size really is. Look, he's 6'5", 257 pounds. We got a guy that's 6'5" or 6'4.5", and around 257. He plays on the line, and that's Dorrance Armstrong. So let's get you in mind of. Think of Dorrance Armstrong, if he had the ability to cover out in space and cover well, then that's the type of pedigree we got. We got a guy that's tall, range, got long length in arms, and then these hands. When he put those hands on you, I thought for sure when I look at his college tape, I said, okay, he's gonna have problems shedding blocks. He's gonna have problem without flying out to the ball and getting free space. I don't think that he can fight through trash and things like that. Disengagement is going to be a problem. And everything I saw on tape, everything that I saw with my small mind and my small eyes and everything, it didn't match up, because what LVE is doing, he's flying out, he's shedding through blocks, he's tacking up field. I'm talking about they had a screenplay. They had three guys in front of him. He was able to snake through, get skinny, and knock the opposition down. That spoke a lot to me. And the kid is still growing. His neck is the size of people's arms. So this guy is still filling out. It looks like he's hitting their weight room. He may be a centerpiece for this Cowboys for a long time. And you add in the fact that you have a Jalen Smith. Man, those two combination is just everything. And then, of course, you can sprinkle in the Joe Thomases and the Wilson kid. They doing their things out there, but that LVE. I had somebody to comment and say, hey, do you guys want to trade and switch around Roquan Smith for LVE at this point? Because Roquan was a higher draft grade than LVE. So we'll see how this thing play out, because it's still a long year. So I want to know what he does when it gets cold, because I always say, hey, wait till it get cold. But by playing in Boise, so he should understand how to play when it's cold.
With us, man, I got to tell you, I don't know if there's any more room for improvement with Tank, because he looks to be maxed out with the way that he's playing, and I'd say it's time he gets even more recognition as being one of the best edge players in the game. What do you think?
Well, no question. I mean, there he is putting up 3 sacks yesterday, and Stafford's a hard guy to get to, and but I think he's definitely deserves everything he's got coming to him. I mean, once again, no one respects him more than I do. I know he's playing with some with some aches and pains out there that would slow a lot of other people down. But he's a warrior. Certainly, I do think some of the additions we've made with Randy and Dorrance Armstrong, they're certainly getting some push, which I think help Tank out as well. And certainly, we got a guy like David Irving coming back this week. Hopefully, we'll see, if he's ready to go this week or not. But he's going to work back into the mix, and I think our era's up over there. Sean's going to continue to improve. I'm sure. Probably a long shot for this week, but we'll continue to hopefully see him make improvement. And as I said, this is a young team. We're certainly need to improve. We're by no means there, but the good news is we are young, and I think we will get better.
All right, you can't just sneak that one past us there. What aches and pains are you talking about with Demarcus Lawrence, Stephen?
Right. Oh, I just think they come with playing NFL football in the defensive line. He's got some ribs and some things like that, a hip, and it's just getting hit out there, and it comes with playing the game. But, he's never let things like that hold him back. He's just, as I said, he's a warrior. He loves to play the game, and he plays it. One of the things I think goes unnoticed with him, not only is he a great pass rusher, but he's one of the great run players as well. I mean, he's just an all-around great end for us, and certainly fortunate to have him.
Now, is there anything negative you'd like to say about him? Because it is a salary cap league, and we're going to have to extend him at some point. We want to bring his value down.
Unfortunately, I can't find anything negative to say about him because, he's just getting it done. And my hat's off to him, and I can't think of anything negative to say about it.
So I haven't rewatched the defense yet, but in real time, it seemed like they may have made a conscious decision not to throw at Byron Jones. Could you guys have imagined that in his first year being back at cornerback that things would be going this well?
No, I couldn't. I mean, my hat's off to him. I thought he could play the position well, but nothing like what he's playing it. I mean, he's borderline out there shut down right now, but, Byron's a super smart guy. He's super athletic. He's long. And I think the way Chris wants our corners to play, he just happens to fit that mold. And he's got long arms. He can really wire a guy. He's very conscientious about his technique. He understands what Chris wants, and he's able to execute it. And, certainly he's a guy who's jumped out at us that's exceeded expectations.
Zeke reminded me a little bit of Emmett yesterday in that something was bugging him, and he would limp to the sideline and kind of limp back into the game. But as soon as he got the ball, he was 100% for that 5 seconds or so he needed to run it. So is it an ankle? Is it a knee? I was just wondering what was bugging him during the game.
Yeah, he had a little ankle, and then he's got a little bursitis he's working on his knee. But he's such a competitor. He can't stand not being out there. And, he's a warrior. I mean, you got to give hats off to him. I mean, like you said, he's obviously playing with pain, but at the same time, when you dial his number up, you don't see it when the play starts. So hats off to him. He's such a great competitor, as we said from the get-go this year. He's in he's in the right place in terms of where his head is, where his mind is. He's obviously this is a season where he's wanting to show everybody what he's really about, and certainly he's done that up to this point.
Stephen, help me out here. I'm married a doctor, but I'm not one. Bursitis, is that something that can go away during the season, or something he's going to have to deal with the rest of the season?
No, it'll go away. It's just where you break a bursitis sac. It's in your joint, and it swells up. But it can be painful, but certainly something that should take care of itself.
Gotta Google that.
Stephen Jones here with us on 105.3 The Fan. So after going 9 of 11 games under 200 yards, Dak had the big one, 255 with no picks. Does that qualify as just slinging it around out there? What do you think?
Well, I think, Dak is always going to want to be efficient. I mean, he protects the ball. Certainly that's a big-time quality in this league is to protect the ball. So, to use the term slinging it with Dak, I think we'll be hard-pressed to ever get him to just sling it a la Tony, the way Tony liked to sling it around. But I do think he was very efficient with it. I think he showed what he can do. When we start to really execute run our offense efficiently. And we were able to do that yesterday. We certainly got more work to do. There's a lot of things I'm sure, though, we're going to get in here and watch that tape, and he's going to watch the tape, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things we can improve upon. But we're a young football team. That's a young receiving core and a young tight end core that he's working with, and certainly showed some things there with Zeke and Dak yesterday that, we can really build on and improve upon.
Good
Steven,
stuff.
about 3 times a month we have to apologize for something that Mike Bassick has done. And him and Jerry got in a little tiff on Monday, and I was just curious, will he be invited to the media party next year?
Well, if he'll behave, and he'll jump on the bandwagon here just a little bit. I know it's just creeping right now, but we'll certainly give him a shot at it.
All right, he'll earn his way back. He swears.
Yeah, it sounds like they're having a good time. So that was the end of that interview there. So if you guys don't know, try to go back and watch some of the stuff. Jerry Jones cussed last week, and it was one of those things that the guy asked a hard question. But neither here nor there as I begin to wrap this thing up. I just want to touch on the fact that Ezekiel Elliott needs to stay healthy, and as well as Byron Jones. I want to touch on that. My God, man, Byron Jones is playing lights out. Man, he's doing this thing. It's nasty, man. It's nasty. I love hearing, and I love seeing, and I love watching tape and film and you guys' feedback on Byron Jones' play. I love this, man, because I always said, hey, this guy fits the mold of a cornerback, not a safety. He plays well up tight, close on the line. As far as out in space, you might have your problems, but up tight, close on the line, using that length, using that World Hall of Fame type of leaping, jumping ability that he got, because it's world class. I think it's a world record, right? Nobody jumped further than him or something like that. So the guy's athletic. So we will do another show later on tonight. It's starting at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're going to do a real overview. It's me, DDP, and some more people that's going to be on the panel. Just be ready for later on tonight so we can talk about this past game, and then we can look further into the future of the current game that's coming ahead. So that's all the time I have for right now. I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone. Don't forget to join Phantom, join Big Game James, Silver and Blue Nation. There's a link, www.cowboysexperience.com. That's where you can reach out, and we have live interactions with current and former players, as well as we have a lot of things down the line. And I'm going to whisper this. Cole Beasley is coming around the corner. So we want to see you guys out there. I'll let you know when the events come around and about. But it's always a pleasure. It's always a plus. Thank who is this? Jay, for making the donation to help grow the nation. I really appreciate you, man, for dropping the donation into the box, man. It's always a pleasure for making the donation. Don't forget, I got a podcast. That's LAW Nation. Join that podcast. I talk about various things, especially Cowboys all day, even twice on Sunday. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling one way or another. This is your brother from another mother. No other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but I keep it cool with you guys. And remember, you all are listening in to nothing but the bass. Salute. Let's jam on out to some music at least. Let's roll with it, baby. Yeah. Hey. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hit that like button. Share this content. Share. Some love. Shout out to Jamal Anderson and Tigo. Carrie Tigo. Jay Riss, man, what's good with you, man? Shout out to you. Yeah. Salute. We're out.